Okay, it's a recording.
Yeah,
Awesome.
because I mean, I can
Okay.
stay on, another till 5 o'clock or whatever,
Okay, I think 5 o'clock is fine.
Okay.
I've got another meeting at
Yeah.
that point as well.
Okay.
But and Kirsten, and Knock, I'll send you the audio of the session like right as soon as we're done.
Okay.
Fantastic. Okay. Thank you.
Thanks, Kirsten. So Knock, I will add these data points for on the grant adjustment um, on the grant adjustment form down in the internal section. Are there other things that you need to be on the grant adjustment notice?
Well, let me ask you, what are the adjustment types? Is this card both for the opportunity grants as well as the grant making? The
Yes. Yes, it is.
Okay, so they're across the board then. What let me see the
So there's a defer start date, a no cost extension, add funds, staffing change, terms adjustment, signature authority change, budget plans, which is really a change.
what does budget plans mean? Is that just a budget change?
I think that's just a budget change. Yeah.
I probably would call that. I'd probably call that something a little different. Um, budget redirection. I might call it that.
Okay.
Yeah, that's really what it is.
Okay. So
Uh,
direction, timeline changes,
what's the difference between timeline changes and uh,
then a no cost extension.
well, yeah, no cost extension, defer start date. Well, I guess you mean because that's really I guess maybe that's a generic way of capturing because it's really uh, performance period changes and budget period. So yeah, timeline changes is probably generic enough.
hmm
All
Uh,
right.
Personnel changes is the same as signatory authority change in my mind. Um, Deliverable changes, that could be the terms and condition changes. Um,
Yeah, yeah, it could be. Although, you know, I know deliverables is a term and condition, but sometimes it's such a special term and condition
mhm.
that um, you know, I don't know. I wonder if we want to leave that. But you're right. The personnel changes actually that seems similar to the staffing change. Um, so I don't know that we need both of those. I'd probably call it personnel.
I think I'd call it personnel too. Now
I take staffing out.
we got these last set of changes or last set of data points from Janelle during the discussion the other day. So I didn't
I
take
don't
out
know
the
about.
old ones, but
Yeah, yeah. I don't know about those data changes because again, she's taking that in terms of requirements. Yeah, I don't see how that fits in there. I guess I'd have to have Janelle explain that one.
okay.
Um, of course, yeah, other that sort of captures her, and maybe if other data changes could be on the other because data changes it seems like an odd adjustment to me. Um,
Well, so it could be, or it could be, you know what, we submitted a report with certain data in it that's inaccurate, and we need a change. We need you to
Shouldn't
change
that be a deliverable change since the report's a deliverable?
the deliverable change. Yeah. I just remember when at Justice, we used to do a lot of, as part of the governance process, we had a
Hmm.
lot of data changes, and it would a
Oh, okay.
request, um, which would be, you know what, my my name is spelt wrong on the official signatory or something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. You know what? In that case, if you're talking that kind of data, you're right. Because I can see even on the opportunity, the grant seeking side, we need to, um, right, somebody's name was wrong, listed wrong or something.
Right. But
Um, although one could argue that's a personnel change. Not really, that's not really a personnel change.
Well, so I think what we probably need ACS to do is kind of
Mhm.
socialize this list and make sure that this list makes sense with your business,
Okay, I got you. I
right?
got you.
Because
Yeah.
we can add anything we want to it, but it's
Okay.
a question of whether or not it's any bits on there are duplicative, and or whether or not you use them.
I got right. Exactly. Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. Really. What are the? I mean, really, that's what we really need to have people think through. What are really the formal changes that occur, whether it's us as grantee or as grantor? What do we allow our grantees or subawardees? What kind of changes do we often see or allow them to make?
right.
So yeah, as long as we capture that, you're right. So okay, we just need to socialize the list. Okay, all right,
So
gotcha.
from the grant seeking side, are there other grant adjustment notice or grant adjustment request types that you would see?
Let me see if I can pull up. I had I think I sent you a while back a little write up on the adjustments, and I just want to refresh my memory of what I sent you. But now I got to find it again. Let's see where I put it. Hopefully it's in here. Maybe not. Let's see. What did I call that thing? Did I call it grant adjustments? Let's try to find that little template I sent. Okay, but it's not in here where I thought it would be. Let me. I put it under. Think of what I called that. I think I sent that to you about a month ago, maybe. Let me see. I might have to now search in my email. I'm looking at my hard drive to see if I saved it. Let me look at my email. I'll put. Let's see. Did I send that? I'm trying to see if I sent that directly to you. I can put your name in an email and see if I can search on it, Richie.
May 12th is.
I'll do adjustment. Maybe that was in there somewhere. Maybe not. Let's see. Actually, I need to look under my sent. Look at my wrong box. Okay, let's do this again. In my sent folder, Richard. I'll try grant adjustment. Okay. No, that's too old. I don't. Grant, I think this is it. That's not it. Let's try. Hmm. I can't tell if I sent this just to Tony.
Hmm?
Let me do Tony. I know Tony was on the email. Oh, I sent it directly to both of you. Grant adjustment. Oh man, what the that stuff? It's not coming up. I can find it. It's just not coming up by me searching on it this way. Um, I thought I sent it to all of y'all, but I know it's in my. Obviously, I created it, so I know I have it. I just
Okay.
gotta remember what name I gave it. So if I find it, I'll see if there are other things on there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Another quick question, Mark. When you do an adjustment, grant adjustment notice, you basically got an adjustment description,
Mm-hmm.
and you're basically sending it on to somebody else to review it and make some comments on it. This is really them saying, this is really the person that's reviewing it and saying, and approving it, saying, okay, yeah, this looks fine, or we've taken the appropriate actions. But in the case where something goes back and forth, do you want a place for revision comments on this as well?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I think so. Yeah.
And
What about even? Is there a communication tool here?
no, I did not add a communication tool on the adjustments. Um, I actually think you want to do the adjust. You kind of want to do the. You want those communications kind of like on the record itself, on the grant itself,
Oh, I see. Okay, I see. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well,
because
you
otherwise
know,
it's
it's
not getting
interesting.
buried, you know.
Well, what I'm thinking about actually two things. One is, what if, and not that we have to always record everything, so maybe we don't really need it, but I know there's going to be, I imagine there'll be some back and forth. Let's just say this is an opportunity grant. I know, and let's say there's a change. Let's say the program people, let's say this is a CDC HPV grant, HPV group here at ACS. They want to request a change, some type of change. I don't know. We're going to, well, actually, let's do a simple one. We have what we call a comp cancer grant in cancer control.
Okay.
We just changed the PI in the grant. So what happened was, um, it, it was obviously we knew we needed to do it because the existing PI was leaving. So theoretically, even SPO could have initiated, but we identified who the new PI was going to be. Um, we did a PI request to CDC to make the change, and they came back eventually approved the request. And that request included a letter. We had to send a person's bio sketch with it or whatever. Um, but there were some conversations that had to take place with the new PI and even among ourselves, SPO, sort of thinking through that. I guess the question is really, do we really need to capture any of those conversations? Or do we just do it, you know? Or do we capture, we don't need to capture the conversations, we don't need to capture the brainstorming, but maybe we just, in their comments, we say, hey, talk to such and such, they agreed to be the new PI, Loran, and SPO agreed that, this is the requirement, we fulfilled the requirement, whatever. The requirement is we're going to need a bio sketch or whatever, and so add those in. Maybe we just capture whatever we need to capture in the comments, I guess.
So this is the initial one. This is the request from the division from the group that says we need to add a new PI, right?
Right,
That's going to get sent into you, and
right,
then you guys are going to have an internal discussion about
right.
the
How
change.
do we fulfill that requirement? Right, right. Who's going to be the PI?
We have
What does the sponsor require when you change the PI? Yeah, right. We're going to have internal discussion, right.
uh,
Yeah. We decided this is right. And after internal discussion, uh, this
actions,
is what we need to do to process this request, basically.
right?
Yeah,
Um,
right,
so so then after that, right? These are the actions that we're going to take.
right,
Um, then the question is, okay, now you need to go take those actions.
correct.
Um,
And and
and then you need
those
to,
the actual actions probably will maybe happen outside of Flux, like um, okay, we got a template that maybe the sponsor has us fill out, or a letter. We need to name the person. Maybe they need their bio sketch attached to it, or CV. And we might want to actually attach that as a document here. Of course, whatever we send out, we want to attach it here as a document as well.
okay.
Um,
So
so right, Jane is going to take these actions, um, and right, we need a document component, right, and then we'll need some some actions, some formal actions, will require that we get back something from the CDC, or I'm saying CDC, from the sponsor that says yes, this is approved, or we're good with it, or you're fine, or whatever,
So there are comments coming back from the sponsor that
Right.
need to be captured.
Correct.
Okay. So Jane's going to take the actions, going to get comments back from the sponsor, and then we're going to mark the record as complete.
Correct. Correct. And then now, the one thing after that, once we've done it, it's complete. The only thing I don't know then is how do we, for those things that impact that grant record, how do we make the change to that? So, for example, in this case, we changed PI. We want to be able to show who the original PI was, but now we got to show the new person.
Right. So now you're going to make the. So before you mark the record as complete, you're going to take
Just the record.
action. Fingers. Take actions in system.
Right, exactly. Exactly. Yep. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
And so taking action in the system may require an amendment, right? Depending on the type of action. So
Right.
if
Depending on the type of action. Right.
it's a change to money, it's going to require an amendment to make it occur in the system. After you're done with that, then you'll mark the record as complete.
Now, of course, in the grant world and even legally, we use amendment has a meaning to it. But are we using this more broadly to mean just changes to the record?
No.
Okay, you mean a real amendment?
A
Okay,
real amendment, a change to the money or a change to the period of performance.
That's right.
Because
Period of performance.
those are the only two amendments that Flux will do.
Okay, great. How do we capture things like changes to personnel then?
With this grant adjustment notice.
Okay, so great. So we have that, but then but we have to literally go back into the system and change because if we wanted to search on a particular record and we had the PI's name, we know there's a PI or project director associated with the record. We can search by that name, but if that name is now changed.
So then the question sort of becomes, when you make changes, right? You'll have a grant. You'll have a primary point of contact for that grant, and which will be the PI, right? And then what you'll do is you will add a new relationship to a new person. That new person will be then primary on the grant.
I see.
The only thing is that you don't. I would not delete that user from the grant.
I'm saying I don't. Right. We want to keep that history. Exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah. We just want to add the new. Really, I guess in effect, you're adding a user to that record as a PI. That the role is the PI, and really, you're just giving a role to whatever user is the PI of that record as of a particular date. I guess.
Right.
I guess I was just thinking practically. Literally, I know we captured that change in the adjustment. The question is, how do we make the change in the record itself?
You basically tab back over, go through the related data tabs back to the grant itself, and you'd make the adjustment in the grant.
Okay. All right. Okay. Great. Yeah, that's the only thing I was concerned about. Those things that didn't require a formal amendment, those other changes, while we can record the actual change, the question is how we go back and and change the record while still keeping the history. You know.
Right. So yeah, I think I would say you make the change on the you add the user, um,
Mm-hmm.
and you uh, and you change the role, right?
Okay.
But you leave the old person in the system
Right.
associated with the record, and you use the grant adjustment notice as notification that that change was
Exactly.
made.
Right. Exactly.
So the only
Um,
other thing I'm thinking about, Knock, is any documentation that may any automatic junk documentation that may be generated based um, on on that uh, personnel change or anything like that. And I'm thinking at this point, I don't think there's anywhere in the system where we have um, documents or contract documents or notification documents or things like that that would need to be updated based on a change in personnel.
no, no, we wouldn't need no. None of those would need to be updated. What again? We just want to show the change. We might, you know. So for an example, if on even at the way back at the proposal stages, we said this person will be the project director, whatever. I don't think we need to go back into the proposal itself or document and say there's a new PI. We just need to say right now there's a PI. When we did the proposal, it was a different person, and we still show that history.
Right,
But as of this date, the PI now is this person. You
right,
know, but you're right. I don't know that we need to go back and make adjust attachments or anything like that.
right.
As
And
long as we have the
we're not generating a bunch of well, as I said, in Flux we call them letters. We're
right,
not generating. We don't have a bunch of letters, specific
right,
letters
right,
that get become PDFs as part of the record that we would want to
right,
go back and regenerate.
right. No, no, I don't. No, I can't see that. No, no.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's good.
So, so yeah, I think that's good. I'll go back and look at that list of adjustments and see what I originally kind of proposed. And
Okay.
um, yeah.
So I think that's it. Now, if you would be so kind as to go through these emails down in
Yeah,
the
that's what we're doing now. I got my SPO team. We're going, me, Cheryl, Jeff, Lorraine, and Laquita. We're all going through it now. Because
fantastic.
what we're finding is that we may not actually need all those emails, to be perfectly honest. But yeah,
Yeah, no, I remember I generated them one Saturday morning. Like, okay, I told you I was going to get them done. I just generated them really quickly and put them in the
right,
system placeholders, and they've kind of sat there as okay.
right.
I want to make sure we get the content in
Yeah,
properly. Um,
yeah.
so that
You know
that
what
would
I did want to ask you real quick about?
yeah, sure.
I've been thinking about this. Okay, because I know, we got a grantee portal, reviewer portal, I guess an employee portal. Do we have that actually?
No, we didn't. But we didn't do the employee portal. We got the internal portal, right? Which is
Okay, right,
this one.
right. Okay.
Review.
So really, what I was trying to figure out,
Let's see.
because I think we were thinking that even a PI or project director would be technically go through an external portal because they're not going to really be operating in the system, so to speak. I mean, we might interface with them. We might ask them to upload something, but I don't know. I guess we didn't actually build a portal for them, but like a PI, an ACS PI, who's on an opportunity grant. And, once it's awarded, of course, they got to give us reports and stuff like that.
Hmm.
Um, so I didn't know how we wanted to handle that. I mean, we could, they don't necessarily have to have a portal, but I guess the thing is, to the extent that they interacted with the system, we wanted the PIs to interact through an external portal like the other folks. The internal folks should be really a small group of us, basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we could make a we could make it the say basically a division level portal that wasn't filtered by division.
Oh, I see what you're saying. It'd be similar to a division. It'd be a division-like portal, but it wouldn't be like just for divisions. It'd be
Exactly.
um,
It would be open to you'd basically see every grant, or you basically would have a set of filtered grants.
right, and that's the thing. The idea would be to have filter grants for that PI. Whatever grants they have that are for them, that's what they would see through that portal.
Okay. Can you do me a
Yeah.
favor, Knock? Can you
Uh-huh.
make sure that Tony has that as a requirement
Requirement. Okay, great. I will do. Yep.
in the business write up, because
Yeah.
we kind of as Bobby said the other day, we're kind of locking down the
I
requirement
got you.
as of
Got
tomorrow. So I want to make sure it's
you. Okay.
there so everybody's cool.
Okay. All right. We'll do.
Okay.
Got you.
And we can kind of write it, kind of just write it in terms of we need an external portal for the program investigators, program division, program
Yeah.
uh,
Project directors
project,
or investigators or whatever. Yeah,
yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
and then just write it up just that way, and say the division portal without, i.e., the division portal without a division filter. We just need something that's filtered for just the assigned reviews, something like that.
Okay. Yeah. 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 Okay. All right. I'll get that to him.
That would be
Yeah.
great.
All
Okay.
right. Sounds good. Appreciate it going through this.
I appreciate you spending the
Good.
time, man. I really do.
Yeah. No
Um,
problem.
I will try and get the majority of these things loaded in for tomorrow. Um, and I will send you and Kirsten the recording from the rest of the session.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Great.
All right, man. I'll talk to you in the morning.
Okay. All right. Take care.
Take care, buddy.